Yo boys, it's Dan. Welcome to the first Champions League video of the new Champions League season. Yes, we have got Champions League match day 1 of a brand new Champions League season and a brand new format in the Champions League. I'm gonna try and explain this really well, but I will find some text like how it works a bit over the top of me here. So what's gonna happen is that there's now 36 teams in this, or 32 teams I think, or 36. One massive group, like top 8 go through normally, and then the bottom 8 go into a playoff play against them, and that all comes into like one big league, and then same format as the Europa League as well, and all leagues are now it's new era now. But if further ado, smash that like and subscribe, and let's get into game week match day 1 of the Champions League. But first, here is this. Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan10 at checkout. Peace. And we're starting off with the first game. So each team are playing 4 away and 4 home, 4 away as well. Got to mention that as well. Starting off with Juventus versus PSV. Now, Juventus, as we know, are a very good team, and so are PSV. But I mean, a new Champions League dawn has origin for these two teams. We've got some debutants as well, but these two teams have been in it before. I'm going to go with a Juventus win by 2-1 against Juventus versus PSV. Now we move to BS Young Boys versus a new Champions League team, and they're back in the big flight for a few years, for 22 years, Aston Villa. Aston Villa are in the Champions League. How are they going to go? Away in Switzerland for the trip to Young Boys. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be tough, but I think that Villa will I think it'll be a close one. I'm going to go Young Boys 2, Villa 2 in their first game in the Champions League, back proper. Now we move to Bayern München versus GKA Dynamo, which is aka Dynamo Zagreb. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to say the team that's actually on the reference book, which they're formerly known as, and obviously you would assume that Bayern would cruise this game. I will think that Bayern will absolutely cruise this game. I'm going to go Bayern 3, Dynamo GNK Dynamo 0 in this game. Now we move to Milan versus Liverpool. Now Liverpool again are one of these teams that are in the Europa League last season, but in honest slots first Champions League contest for Liverpool. How will they go? I do not know. I think Liverpool will have a good chance. I think Liverpool will have a very good chance of doing something this season, of going quite far. But Milan also a good team as well. They strengthen the windows, Milan as well. I'm going to say it will be AC Milan 2, Liverpool 2. I'm going for draws. Early. Now we move to Real Madrid. This is another debutant in Stuttgart. Now Stuttgart would not usually be in this because there's more teams, there's more chance of these lower teams in Bundesliga and stuff to actually get into the competition. But I think Real will have too much. I think that Real Madrid will have far too much for Stuttgart. I'm going to go 3-1. I think they will score Stuttgart. 3-1 to Real Madrid in this game. They move to Sporting Club de Portugal versus LOSC Lille. Now Lille, their first time in the Champions League as well. We've got a lot of new teams. We've got a few more teams to go through as well, who knew as well, but LOSC Lille were good in Bundesliga, in Ligue 1 last season. They were also very good. But I do believe that it could be a very interesting game here in Sporting in Portugal. I'm gonna go Sporting Club de Portugal 2, LOSC Lille 1. And now we move to Bologna versus Shakhtar. Now Bologna are another new team in the Champions League. I don't know why. In the Champions League, they could be one of these teams that go very far. That could Bologna was the place of Joshua Zirkzee, but he now has gone to Manchester United, who aren't in the Champions League. But we'll get onto that later on, and I think that Shakhtar are a good team. They were in it last year. I'm gonna go. It will be a 2-1 win to Shakhtar in this game. Now move to Sparta Prague versus Salzburg of Austria. Red Bull Salzburg of Austria versus Sparta Prague of somewhere. And I'm gonna say you'd expect Salzburg to have enough in this one. I think they will have enough. Salzburg to win it 2-0. And we now move to Belgium and Club Brugge versus Dortmund. Club Brugge. Now Club Brugge, the Belgian champions, always do really well in Belgium. Their first outing in the Champions League. They don't usually get into a Champions League because there's not enough teams in the Champions League for them to be into, or they don't do very well in this competition either. And I am going to say, you would expect Dortmund to breeze this. 2-0 to Dortmund in this game. They move to Celtic versus S. Bratislava. The Scottish champions are back in the group stage of the Champions League. They have never got out of the group stage of the Champions League. They always go out in the qualifying round. They have rarely got to this stage properly, but when they do, they usually go out as well. So can this be their year to go through to the last 16 of the Champions League? I don't know. I think S. Bratislava will pose a threat, but not a good threat, but not dangerous threat. 2-1 to Celtic in this game. And I move to the defending champions in Man City versus Inter. Now, Man City, they have brought back their Champions League winning captain, Aykor Gundogan, to the team from Barcelona. Obviously, if you watch the Premier videos, you would see that happen. But Inter have sold some key players and brought in some key players as well. And I'm going to say, in Man City 2, Inter 1. It will be close. And then we go to PSG versus Girona. Now that's a name you didn't expect to hear. Girona in the Champions League for the very first time. They were fighting it with the likes of Real Madrid and Atletico for the La Liga title last season. But wow, I do think it could be again. I think PSG will have far too much, the likes of Mbappe, Kanamwami, and all their players in that team. 3-0 to PSG in this game. They move to Crvena Zvezda versus the Portuguese champions Benfica. Now, Benfica. Oh, very good. We know how good. Many says are basically better to go, but I like for the one, like for Dynamo, I'll say the actual name they go off of, not the actual name. And I'm gonna say in this game, Benfica to win it 1-0. It'll be close. We know how good Manchester can be, especially at home as well. When we move to Feyenoord versus Leverkusen. Now, Feyenoord, as we know, they won the Eredivisie under Arne Slot, who then ended up leaving to go to Liverpool. That's an interest. So basically he got in there and then he left to go to Liverpool. It was about 10-5. And as we know, Leverkusen won the Bundesliga last time unbeaten, but they have lost a game this season. They have lost a game in the Bundesliga, so no invincible again for Leverkusen. But how will they fare in the Champions League, in the Xabi Alonso's first Champions League campaign for them? And I think it'll be a 2-draw between Leverkusen and Feyenoord. Then it might move to Atalanta versus Arsenal. As we know, Arsenal can go very far in the Champions League. But in Italy with Atalanta, who won the Europa League 2, who beat Bayer Leverkusen, who beat Leverkusen in the final of that as well. That will be an interest. That will be the Europa League winners versus the Premier League winners up last season. Atalanta now have a very good team. They've strengthened as well. And I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Atalanta 2 in this. I'm going for a lot of draws. I'm going to figure out the first couple of games. I think all these teams are very, very good. And you go to Atleti versus Leipzig. Yes, Atletico de Madrid versus RB Leipzig. But for the players again, I'm going to say Leipzig again. And in this game, I'm going to again. We have some cracking games. We have some absolutely. This Champions League is going to be amazing. Literally, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be amazing. This Champions League round of groups, the 17 games, these championship games are going to be fantastic. Like, you don't know how much you'll get of good, high quality games. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw again between Atleti and Leipzig. We had the last 2 games of match day 1, and we moved to a new team, another debutant in Monaco versus Barcelona. Now, Barcelona, as we know, came second in the La Liga behind Real, and in front of Atleti, and also in front of Genoa. And Barca will have too much again. I think Barca will have far too much. 3-0 Barca. And I meet the last team in Brescia versus FC Sturm. Yes, that is how you say it. It's not like, don't take out context, but it is how you say Brescia. It is how you say Blessed. Or can I say Blessed, but I'm going to say Brescia. 2 new teams. I don't know how both these teams will play. I'm going to say a 0-0 draw. And that will bring Champions League match day 1 to an end now. Champions League, now the Europa League has not started again. Champions League does not start, the Europa League does not start until next week. So you'll see one video of the Champions League this week and the Premier League, but next week you have 4 vids next week. You will have one on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Friday, and also one on Saturday as well. No, not Saturday. Yes, no, I lied. 2 weeks time you have 4 videos. Next week you have this week you have 2. Next week you have 4. No, you are 4. You are 4. It's me being me. Yeah, you are 4 next week. Yes, like and subscribe, and I will see you lot in the next Champions League video. If you're not subscribed, also Premier League is back on Friday, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the Champions League. Goodbye.